To our next keynote, we're going to have one more session here just before we take a short break, talking about digital transformation and reconfiguring your organization to take full advantage of workflow automation. This is going to be with Christian Wolf, who's head of business organization and process at W&W Group. Christian has more than 9 years of national and international consulting experience in process management and structure, all focusing on organizational and technical optimizations. As head of business organizations there at Wustenrow and Württembergisch. His area of responsibility covers RPA, also covers process management and consulting, organization management and innovation as well. And luckily for us, Christian is a distinguished RPA speaker, both at national and international conferences. So brilliant to have him here with us today. Hello, Christian. Good to see you. I'll hand over to you.
Hi, Richard. Thanks for the warm introduction. And I'm very happy to tell you something about our organizational changes we have done on the example of our RPA COE. But first of all, let me just introduce W&W Group for just 1 minute, because I don't know if a lot of guys know it. We are located in Germany. We have around about 6.5 million customers. We have 3 big bases. We'll get a large campus next to Stuttgart. It's called Convestheim. I don't know if you ever heard about it. And we are financial conglomerate. So we have 3 mainly departments. It's housing, insurance, and brand pool. And we also have service functions and central functions like computer science, asset management. Within our company, it's Wüstenrot and Württembergische AG, but it's easier for all in this international webinars to talk about W&W Group. I'm working at Wüstenrot and Württembergische in the holding, and we are in charge for all the topics you mentioned for the whole company. So we're serving everyone in the company who like to be served from us. First of all, if you like to do organizational changes, and if you take a look at all the automation needs you have, and all the automation tools and all the automation ideas you have in your company, I guess most of you know that it's very important to have the top management, that the top management supports you. And we started our RPA initiative 2016, and we have been part of our strategic context within the company. It's called W&W Better, moving to a digital future. So we decided to implement RPA within our company to increase the speed, the efficiency, and also the service quality. And if you take a look at process management, these are one of the 3 main points also in process management. So we decided to bring RPA and process management together. We also had a reporting line, a direct reporting line to our top management in the holding. We had quarterly direct reports where we told them, okay, what kind of bots did we implement? How are the bots working with other automation initiatives within the company? What's the quantitative goal, and so on. So what we'd like to say with this slide, for every organizational change or for everything you are starting within your company, it's always good to have the top management behind you. So in 2016, not everyone really noticed RPA, and to be honest, most of the guys within our company even didn't know what RPA is. So we had hard discussions with our IT department. They weren't really aware of, is RPA helping us in the IT? Is RPA killing something we are actually doing within our automating strategy, and so on. So we decided to build our first COE with the IT together. So we had a head of RPA. I've been the head of RPA when I haven't been a manager 4 years ago. We had some division specialists within the RPA COE. We had IT bot developers. We had the IT infrastructure guys. They're one of the guys who are still in our COE now, and we had our process consultants. So mostly all of the colleagues within the COE had their job, And the managers told them, okay, go to the COE. You have, let's do it. Let's say one day a week. You can help the COE to build bots. You can help the guys to automate something, but only within your silo. So we only work in our silo to say, okay, automation for us and for the COE is RPA. It doesn't matter if another tool or another kind of automation is better. So probably we can talk about a BPA automation with Camunda, for example. We also use Camunda within our company. That was one of the problems we early mentioned with the COE. And we also had a big backlog. And if we take a look at the IT bot developers, there have only been 2 guys, no 3 guys, I'm sorry, with 2.8 FTE to build bots for every department who was interested or who was interested in having RPA bots to automate their processes. So our backlog got bigger and bigger. So we had some, let's call it, views on the first and the second year. So we worked within this construct within the first 2 years. It was okay, but we weren't able to scale up. We weren't able to get speed in our scaling, and then we decided to optimize our organization. That's what I'd like to tell you now. Where are we now? Which steps did we take to get there, and how are also the interactions with all the other automation initiatives within our company? So we decided to still have a centralized COE, but the centralized COE is only aware of the governance, is only aware of the strategic development of RPA, and is also for those departments who are not able to have their own developers. So we still have an RPA head of RPA, but it's not me anymore. It's one of my colleagues. We have internal developers. We are not working with the IT as developers. We have our own developers within my department. We have a strategic RPA consultant. These guys are helping the departments to build the organization when they would like to have RPA developers, when they should be aware of building their bots for their own. And we still, like you've seen the slide before, we have our IT infrastructure. And one of our main goals was not only to move out to the departments and tell them, okay, what's your problem? We can help you to automate something, but we only use RPA. I guess that's not helpful for the whole company, and we have to look at the best for the customer, for the internal customer, and for the best choice of tool and choice of automation for our company. So we are interacting with our BPA specialists, for example, the Camunda guys, Pega guys. We are also talking about process mining. How can process mining help us to move the organization into a faster scaling of automation at its whole? Yeah. We are also in exchanges with our OCR guys. How can ML help us to get more bots done and all of kind of this stuff? So that was the first step, to say, okay, we still have the centralized COE, but we have to talk with the other automation initiatives. We have to work together with them. Actually, we are working in a project in our life insurance company where we have the idea to say, okay, don't talk about the process, talk about innovation, talk about tools, talk about technique, and then bring all these things together and take a look at our internal tools, our internal automation tools. And probably for process 1, it's Camunda. For process 2, it's RPA. For process 3, it's RPA and Camunda. So because we also tested the connection between BPA and RPA. The second step was, okay, we have to scale up. But if we stay in this small team, we are not able to get speed in the scaling. So we decided to build product owners in the business departments, they are always C-2 level, because the responsibility for business cases, for budgets, for IT hours, we still need the IT, and we have to pay the IT. Like I've said, it's a service in our company for the infrastructure. It's necessary to have C-2 level managers, because they have budgets within our company. So we also have global developers. The global developers are located in my team. They support the business to understand how to build bots, to understand how to set up their own organization, to know how we can get processes that are able to automate. Not every process is good to automate. Sometimes it's better to do it hands-on, and to get all this skills, and to get all this mindset to do this. We have also my RPA consultants to support the business lines. We have the business process specialists, because we need the guys from the departments who know the processes, who do the documentation, the authorizations. It's one of the biggest issues, I guess, in most of the companies, to get all the authorizations for the bots, to do the testing and so on. And we have the internal developers within the business units, so that they get trainings from us, or they get trainings from a consulting partner from us, and they are aware, after a few days, they are aware to build easy bots and move on. But it's also necessary, and that's why I go back to the other slide, to have the interaction with these global developers, because they should also be aware of, is RPA the right automation tool, or do we need anything else? So that's the most important thing for us to help our company to get the right optimization thing done. So what would I say? No, I don't get the word now. So let's talk about some kinds what we've seen, and what we've seen when we've done this change. It's very necessary to set up an automation workforce team to compare all the automation topics within the company. Like I've mentioned before, it's necessary for the departments to have a quick, qualitative, and a quantitative high automation solution within their department, and not RPA, because I'm selling RPA. We also started to educate non-IT employees to build RPA bots. That was kind of interesting, because we've seen if we trained colleagues who are only talking with the customers on the telephone, and they have never had something to do with IT before, it's not that easy to make them good RPA developers. So we decided to only work together with colleagues who know how to who have a little IT knowledge. So for example, they did a macro before or something like this. That's enough to understand how to build a bot. But it's not only necessary to have IT guys to build it, it's also helpful to have the business guys. And when they work together, we really decrease the development time of our bots around about 25%. And we're still working on the decreasing of the developing time, because those guys know the processes, and our IT developers don't know the processes. They only get something from the departments. So yeah, it's kind of a skill thing. Not to talk about agile too much, we said, okay, we have to empower the people a little bit more, so that they can decide how to do it within our regulatory things we have to look at. And when we started RPA, we always work with pseudocode, something like you have to click there, and then you have to do this, and then afterwards you have a document around about 150 pages. So we said, no, come on, and go to the specialist, to the process specialist, sit down next to him, take your laptop, go on the virtual client, use your technical bot, and start to build it next to the guy. So we decided to start with a happy path in the process. That was one of the kinds also why we decreased our development time. And we started with a happy path, and afterwards we have to document everything. So because we have a kind of like, in FI, we have a hard regulatory things to look at. But the first step we do is build the bot, set up the bot, bring the bot in production, and afterwards document. And I think I'm very good in time. What can we say about our organizational transformation? And it was for us it was really a big organizational transformation, because we decided to do everything without IT. We decided to bring IT skills to the departments, and I'm lying if I say everything is done. It's not, but I think we are on a good way. But we think, and we've seen it last year, we can move forward to scale faster and achieve our goals. And that's the main thing we are looking at. Help the people get the skills in the right direction, achieve our goals, and have the right automation tool or the right automation on the right department, on the right process. So I'm sorry for some of my bad grammatical English, but I'm always talking Swabian all the time. Yeah, if you have any questions, thank you.
Christian, thank you. Don't worry, it was absolutely fine. I'm going to try and just pick one or two of the questions that are coming. There are a few, and of course, I guess we'd invite people to get in touch afterwards, of course. This question here is just asking for your own insight on the augmenting process automation with no-code platforms versus RPA.
It's not that easy. The question is, what do you understand with no-code platforms? Some of our guys said no-code platforms is a macro, for example. Yeah. It's not that easy to tell the difference, the difference. Oh, that's a hard word for me. No, I can't get you a good answer to this. Sorry.
Don't worry. Have a think about it. We can come back to it. It's fine.
Okay.
A few questions about the most important phases of RPA life cycles, that kind of stuff. Also, people interested about executing this project on your own or involving third-party providers as well. I think you mentioned a couple of those coming. Was that the best way to do it?
We started our RPA journey with an external partner, and to be honest, we weren't able to do anything without this external partner, because if you start, you don't have any ideas of which processes you can automate, how to do it, how to set up the COE. After 1 year, we did everything alone, and now we're in a big scaling. And in this big scaling, we also think about to get a consultant for some of those parts of the scaling back in our company. The second one is what's the important phase of the RPA lifecycle? It's the beginning, because you need a problem. That's my opinion. You need a problem, and you need a problem that you can solve with process optimization or something like this. And we had one of these problems, and RPA really helped us. And if you find a problem that no one really knows how to solve, and you can solve it with RPA, this was the hottest part on the RPA journey. And after we did this, everyone in the company knew, oh, RPA is cool and RPA can help me. So Christian, could you please tell me something about RPA? Could you please tell me what you have done and what we can probably do with our problem? And when we get over this phase, it was very cool. The second important phase is if you scale up. If you have if you have automated all the low-hanging fruits with RPA, and you really are in talks of what's the best kind of automation tool now? Is it RPA? Is it BPA? Is it something else? You really have to find the right processes for RPA, and that's hard, and that's not easy. And for us, it took around about 6 months to overcome this phase. But we have overcome it, and now it's okay. But these are the most important stages of RPA, in my opinion.
I was going to ask about time, but about 6 months was felt the right amount of time in that part of the process. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Christian, we'll move on. We're going to take a short break in a tick and come back with more keynotes.
Okay.
But thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thank
really
you.
good to see you. Christian Wolf from W&W Group there.